I thought we had complete control of the first half of the game, and when Appling went out with his second foul, we started putting lineups in there that we couldn't cover them. We really struggled with some of our guys. Levert went off in that stretch, got to the basket, got some three-point plays. We were trying to play Trice and Appling together, and when Appling got that changed the momentum. I thought they hit a big shot before the three. Where the first game, I was very proud of our effort. This game, we looked tired. I was not very proud of our effort. I did not think, I think I did a poor job playing Payne too many minutes in a row, and he was just dead tired. And, that's when a couple of turnovers happened. At one point, I don't know what it ended up, we were 14-0 on points off turnovers, and I thought that was the difference in the game. They got turnovers and got touchdowns and layups, and we didn't. But it's been a strange year. It doesn't get any stranger than to go to your rival and shoot 54%, 40 from the three, and lose. And that's because I think we've become too much of an offensive team and not as good a defensive team. And eventually that gets you. So questions, I'll take them.
Tom, Stauskas scored a couple, I think, on Harris early in the second half, and you switched Appling. Was it always a plan to try Appling on him, or was that just trying something different at the time?
No, I think Gary, too, is, when all of a sudden Keith is out and we had to play Gary more minutes in a row, and we just tried to move some people around a little bit, and then he shot over Keith a little bit. He did a good job, but we didn't handle the ball screens as well. We didn't step up on them and like we wanted to. And like I said, I think, we struggled a little bit. Costello did on those. I thought Schilling did a better job of getting around. And AP struggled a little bit when we were going to switch and when we weren't going to switch. But we look like a tired team, and I don't know why, because that shouldn't happen. But with those two guys, Appling and Payne, I sort of understand it. With the other guys, I really don't. So this was a game we did not play with the energy you needed to play.
Tom, is Appling's wrist still affecting his shot? And at any point did you think about maybe putting Ellis in a little sooner?
No. Nope, I was going with my guy. Of course, his wrist is affecting his shot, but he still drove. He did some things in that, but I got to get guys ready to play down the road too. And I did put Bird and Ellis in there, and that's when defensively they were going around us. So you can only band-aid things so much. But Keith's going to have to play his way through. But no, Keith is not 100%. He's not 80%. I mean, we all know that, but he's better than he was, and he's doing better. I don't know what happened on that fall, but after it, he didn't seem to be in any worse off than he was. So I'm going to keep playing Appling because I got to play the guys I'm going to be playing down the stretch, and we played pretty well. When he was in there, we had a 10-point lead. So you can look at it a lot of different ways. Hindsight's always 20/20, except this year it's probably worse.
Tom, and that seemed like a lot in the second half. Guys were looking around at each other, kind of like they were confused.
Yeah.
I mean, were you surprised that frustration kind of set in, or was that what it was, or just that they
I thought it was fatigue. I mean, honest to God, Adrian was walking up and down the floor. The poor kid was. I thought that was part of it. I think Keith's not used to taking over the team like he did, a month ago, and I thought that was part of it. And I don't know what the other parts were. I'm going to have to watch the film and figure it out, but that's not something we've shown very often this year, even without certain guys. As I told you, it's going to be hard getting guys back, you think is a plus, especially when they shoot well or do some things well, but they still got to fit in with everybody, and we did not look very much in sync. Especially, it's hurting us way more defensively. I mean, you can talk about what we ran. 54% is 54%. It's good enough to win. We didn't guard. We ran for 300 yards, passed for 400 yards, and got beat. You got to check somebody. That's the name of the game. It's how you win big games, how you win games on the road. We weren't as pretty maybe when we had those guys out, but we were checking better. So we got to get back to guarding people, and if we do that, we'll be fine.
Coach, in a game when you said fatigue looked like an issue, what do you tell the guys after a game like that?
Oh, I told him I was very disappointed, just like I told him I was very proud of him in East Lansing. I told him I was very disappointed. I did not think, and trying to keep in track of, it has not been an easy week for us either with travel and everything. I'm trying to keep in track that. I know for a fact that Payne and Appling have not practiced at the same level. We have not been able to practice. I mean, we got home at 4, so you don't practice the same the next day. And so consequently, you're not getting better within practice, or you're not getting in better shape. And, maybe this will be a good week for us. We got a week off until Saturday anyway, and we're going to have to give them a day, and then we're going to have to get back at it. And that's the way we're going to have to do it. I thought we played exceptionally well 90% of that first half. And it's only a half, but I thought we did all the things you needed to do. We defended very well. We rebounded pretty well. We ran pretty well. And I thought we moved the ball pretty well. And so I'm going to have to, take a look at how much of us we just kind of had nothing left and how much of it was our fault. And you got to give credit to them. They played good. They made some shots. Stauskas hit a couple of tough shots over people. Give him credit on that.
Tom, you talk about defense being effort-related. I don't think it was that the guys didn't care. Do you think it was more exhaustion?
I don't know, but it's effort-related, but it's also chemistry-related. Ball screens, we have that last one when they throw it underneath. One guy doesn't call switch, and he switches out, and, that's part of playing together, too. And I think that's the hardest thing that I've said all along. Getting them back will be one bright spot, and then getting them back and playing like the team they need to play like is going to be another. And, it didn't mean to laugh at your question, but is Appling's hand okay now? Appling's hand isn't going to be okay till the end of the year, so everybody knows. That's just the way it is. When you're still hurt this late in the season, it's not going to be back to normal. There's no normality is not going to hit our team. I still think we have enough to do it without being normal. I really do. I think we have enough different pieces where we can still make a serious run at this league championship and beyond. But there's going to be some bumps in the road here if guys don't figure out that, it's not the same as it was. And that is frustrating to them. Keith had a very average practice 2 days ago because he wasn't making a shot and it really got to him. And you know what? I love his competitiveness on that. I understand it, but it's just the way it's going to be, and he's going to have to live with that and understand it. And I think this week he'll get better, and he'll keep working on his shot. He'll get better, but that's the way it is right now. Next question.
Tom.
With Costello in foul trouble and Payne being fatigued, as you said, did that affect how much you wanted to go inside?
I wanted to go inside a lot. I thought Payne was getting beat up in there. I really did. That was the only negative I had for the whole day. But I don't think he really worked hard enough to get it down there because he looked just dead to me. A couple of times when he turned that one over, it was just almost we were trying to get him out. We just couldn't get him out. Didn't want to use a timeout, and that was a big play because it went from 2 to 4, and it seemed to get them on a roll. Those are layups too. When you mess up on those, are layups. So with all those turnovers, they shoot 50. Early on, they didn't shoot, any better than we did. It's just that we had some of those turnovers that really added to. I don't know if we got any breakaways, maybe 1 or 2, but not off turnovers for sure.
Tom, you've been talking about getting the guys back and getting back to where you want to be. Have you ever had to do it in such a short time period? It's going to be before the Big Ten tournament's here, and how do you approach it with it being, just a couple of weeks before the postseason?
Okay, guys, we got beat by a better team today, number one. They outplayed us the whole second half, I thought. But I've never been through anything like this. When you add up the number of people that have missed practices, we're into the 150s. I had years when we were 10, 12, 15. So if I'm not handling it totally proper, it's because it's new territory for me too. But there's been nothing close to this. I'm hearing all these teams, Arizona and, Syracuse, missing a guy. We've missed a lot of guys. And I'm not happy with the way we played. But at the same time, I got to understand there's going to be some points that Everything's not going to go real smooth. It's perfect. The lights go out. It's time to go home. So, no, I've never had anything like this, and yet I still believe we can regroup and do the things you need to do to make a run.